Yes, and it's time for another episode of Garden Fitness Laboratory.
What are we talking about?
Today we're gonna just talk about something very simple: how to build muscle.
How to build muscle.
Yeah.
What do we need?
Well, I think essentially it's about 4 parts of things that you need. One is what do you call it? Hypertrophy or hypertrophy.
Hypertrophy.
Yeah. Hypertrophy. And next, you need to be on a rather dieting. It will be very important.
Diet.
It
means the food you intake.
The food you take.
The quality of food you eat.
Correct. And I think quality of food we eat is also probably linked to what we call the muscle protein synthesis. It's also one part.
Let's go with the hypertrophy first.
Hypertrophy. No, there's 4 parts. I need to say the 4 parts. So there's one more part which is also your testosterone.
Testosterone.
Yeah. Testosterone. And I think the last part will be the most important. How much protein do you need in order to build some muscle?
I thought it's part of the diet already.
Yeah, but then how much protein? Okay, that's about 3.
Okay, let's start with hypertrophy.
Okay, hypertrophy.
What's hypertrophy?
Basically, you just wanted to stimulate muscle growth. Right? In order to stimulate muscle growth and make some gains, it's about doing enough volume or reps actually. It's not really about the weight, it's more about the volume for you to feel the pump.
Hypertrophy is
Yeah,
basically when the blood goes inside your muscle.
Yep.
So how do you know when you're in that state of hypertrophy?
Actually, normally when you feel the pump, I think. Do you feel the pump? That's
because
what
some
they
people,
always say.
the beginners, they don't understand what it is. Basically, when you lift something, lift it several times, then you will feel your muscle gaining
feeling very hard or very
being engorged with blood.
Yeah.
Blood. So it becomes hard.
Yeah.
And what?
It becomes
strained, tired,
erected.
Yeah.
Yeah. All sorts of erections.
That's the pump. That's the hypertrophy.
Yeah. Essentially, it's high volume. I would say high volume. Anything that you do with let's say any piece of weight that you're comfortable with, and you can do until like 10 reps or more in one set. And then you start to feel the hypertrophy. Normally it's volume training. Volume training is more important, not really just the heavy weights, it's about the volume. So you can probably do what they call the drop set. You can do lighter weight and more volume. So that's where you find hypertrophy happen.
Basically you're stimulating your muscles.
Yep, to tear and then
micro
let the blood to go in, fill it up, and then so that when it comes back up again.
So that's that. If you experience hypertrophy, does that mean that you'll build muscle right away?
No,
man.
When do we build muscle, man?
It's out after.
Yeah.
It's outside the gym.
Typically, when you sleep, man, that's the most important thing you need to know. When you sleep is when you build muscle.
What do you need? Number 2.
Oh,
second one,
which is your dieting.
Yeah. Food.
Food is important. Food is where you start to feed your body.
You need the building materials.
Yeah. The building blocks of life.
The building blocks to build those muscles.
So what are the building blocks of life? It's protein.
Amino acids.
Yeah.
Which will come from protein.
Yeah. So I think the common question normally comes: how much protein do I eat? Well, there's no fixed or general guideline. The simple ones that typically, if you're from America, you probably want to say I think about 1 gram per pound.
1 gram per.
They say 1 gram per pound. Yeah.
1 gram per pound of body weight.
Yeah, body weight. Or over here, you can say about 2 grams per kg. That's also okay, or 1.5, 1.6. It's actually depending on how much or how intense your workout is. It's as long as you get about 1 gram per pound, or you get about I think 100 grams in, or should be okay. Something more than your weight. This is actually more than alright. It's not a very big issue. Which actually, because when you do some strength training or weight training after hypertrophy, you have what it calls is muscle protein synthesis, and that normally lasts for a few days. So if you eat after that, it's pretty okay. No, you don't need to eat everything the next day or the next meal. It happens for a period of time, So don't be too worried about.
For a few days, your muscle will be. You're building muscle.
Yeah, your body will say, "Give me some protein to build some muscles," but it's happened over a few days, so you don't need to feel or gorge yourself with too much protein at once. So what's the last one that we wanted to say? If I'm not wrong, testosterone. Yeah. So what's testosterone important? Just a very quick understanding.
It's the hormone that stimulates your body to build muscle.
Yeah. I would say testosterone is very important.
For example, if you just eat a lot of protein, but if you don't have testosterone.
Yeah. So how do you get
You
more
won't build
testosterone?
muscle.
The natural way.
The natural way.
How do you get some testosterone? The natural way.
First is exercise. Exercise stimulates testosterone production.
And what else?
And copulation. Copulation.
What the fuck is copulation, man?
Ejaculation.
Some balls deep action.
Deep action.
Or you can probably be like Popeye and train your hand, so. All over the place. So I think, guys, this is a very short intro to how to build muscle from our point of view. It's actually both part science and I think mostly science and not really bro science.
I just want to add something with regards to the diet. When we say protein, we don't mean that you only need protein. Of course, you also need other macros. But you need a higher than normal protein intake.
Yep. If you're not bodybuilding, you probably don't need to eat that much protein. But let's say you're bodybuilding, yes. If you're just doing regular, let's say running and things like that, well, not really, because you don't need that much of a protein. So that thing is very important. Sleeping and then building muscles, especially when you sleep and eat enough.
A lot of rest, man.
Yeah. So we're just gonna keep it a bit, cut it off for now. So as we always say in Garden Fitness, it's
never
too late
to start.
Start.